For 99 seasons, as the city of Atlanta grew up around it, this historic stadium's team earned 4 national championships, 15 conference titles, and has gone to 16 consecutive bowl games. The tradition continues as Bobby Dodd Stadium celebrates the start of its 100th anniversary season with an opponent coming here for the very first time. Elon takes on Georgia Tech next on ESPN3.
You're watching the ACC on ESPN. For a century now, Bobby Dodd Stadium has housed Grant Field, the fortress for Georgia Tech football. Today, it's the season opener as the Yellow Jackets welcome the Phoenix of Elon for the very first time. Hi, everybody. Sean Kinney alongside Stan Luter. Welcome to another season of college football. Stan, Georgia Tech begins defense of the ACC Coastal Division today. What do they need to accomplish to repeat again this year?
There's a lot of excitement at Georgia Tech right now. A new defensive attitude, a new offensive scheme and attitude as far as a quarterback goes. Go out, play hard, have some fun. It's the first day of the season.
Redshirt sophomore quarterback Vad Lee is ready to take over the reins from Tevin Washington. He is an explosive quarterback that is your prototypical Paul Johnson quarterback.
They really like Vad Lee. He's got a strong arm, great legs, and excellent vision. Last year, he accounted for over 200 yards of total offense in a win over North Carolina, along with 3 touchdowns. Vad Lee is Mr. Excitement. And the guy that's going to chase him around this afternoon is Jonathan Spain. Jonathan Spain had 120 tackles last year in the Southern Conference. A preseason all-conference performer in the Southern Conference, runs from sideline to sideline. Jonathan Spain, Vad Lee. This is going to be an interesting combination, I think.
Should be a lot of fun. Georgia Tech was playing good football down the stretch, including a bowl win over USC. Can they keep that momentum rolling? Season opener next.
Dodd Stadium here in Atlanta, Georgia. As we get set, Georgia Tech and Elon. Let's introduce our third member of the crew today, Steffi Sorensen, with a familiar face along that Georgia Tech sideline.
Well, guys, this is basically a homecoming game for new defensive coordinator Ted Roof, who left Penn State last season to join his alma mater. And head coach Paul Johnson loves the energy, the enthusiasm, and the passion that he brings to the defensive side of the ball, even calling him a one-man mission of destruction. If that's your nickname, guys, pretty sure he's glad he's got him on his sideline. Sean?
Thank you very much, Steffi, and certainly so. This Yellow Jacket defense had a lot of room for improvement. Last year, they gave up around 28 points per game, and Ted Roof has brought his wisdom and I think most importantly his passion back here to the flats to try to reestablish that defense.
Well, we talked about that new defensive attitude. The first 6 ball games, they were giving well over 350 yards a ball game and a lot of points. They made it simpler the final 6 games, got to a bowl game, had a lot of success. Ted Roof, we know of his legacy as a football coach, as a defensive coordinator. Penn State, Auburn, the head coach at Duke. He'll make this Ramblin' Wreck defense more efficient.
Football is back as we celebrate the 100th year here in Atlanta. Grant Field as Harrison Butker sends it 3 yards deep into the end zone for the Elon touchback. This Elon team will be guided by first-year starter Mike Quinn. He has patiently waited for his opportunity. Back up the past 2 years, the junior out of Wayne, New Jersey. Take a look at his numbers. Very limited role, 69% completion percentage. The thing about Quinn, he's very smart, does not make a lot of mistakes, and that's how he is going to have to play here today against this ramped-up Georgia Tech defense.
I had a chance to talk to him earlier in the week. He was very excited about his first start. Only 29 career passes thrown.
First down give, and they keep it on the ground to Tracy Coppage, who gets ahead for 2, maybe 3. Brought down by the outside linebacker, Brandon Watts.
Gain of 3 yards. 2nd down and 7.
Second down give, and Coppage lost the football. Coppage had it poked free, and it's recovered by Georgia Tech. The game's first turnover, and it's the Yellow Jackets. Jamia Thomas, the leader, coming up with the recovery.
and Georgia Tech from the 30.
Sean, let's take a look at this. We told you that the Georgia Tech defense motto now, be aggressive, go after the football. Pops out right there. Nice hit on the inside. Jamia Thomas comes up with a first play, the first turnover. Things looking good for Georgia Tech.
Thomas, the playmaker in the secondary, especially with no safety Isaiah Johnson. And Jamia comes up with the fumble recovery. 7 interceptions over the past 2 years, and this time he contributes defensively. They're going to take a look upstairs at the fumble by Coppage. Good look at Paul Johnson, and I don't think he could have scripted a better start. 17th season as a collegiate head coach. All this guy does is win, whether it's Georgia Southern, Navy, and now here in the Flats.
And the thing that he's done is he brought this triple threat offense everywhere, and everywhere they've had success, they've gone to bowl games, they've had chances to win championship. Watch this. Watch the hit inside on number 4. Jamal Golden right there. Ball's coming out. Clearly looks like a fumble to me. Where is it? Where is it? Jamia says, I've got it. Should be Georgia Tech football on the 30.
On the other side, a frustrated look in the opening minute from Elon headman Jason Swepson. Swepson, the 1992 Boston College graduate, in his 3rd year, 8-14, guiding this FCS program from Elon, North Carolina. And Swepson and this Phoenix squad, heavy underdogs coming into this game. And take a look at what Elon must do, Stan, to keep this thing close. And one of that was not commit the early turnover.
The tempo. Listen, okay, here's first down, Georgia Tech. They talked about having a good tempo, moving the football. The first play, they picked up 3 yards. It looked like Coppage had some yards on that next play, but they fumble it. They can't have those mistakes. And then making plays. We talk about making positive plays. The first big play of this ball game goes the other side. Not the start that Coach Swepson and the Elon team wanted to have.
So now we get our first look at Bad Lee, and he's going to throw a pass over to the far side. Michael Summers makes the catch. It's a depleted receiving core that we'll talk more about. Good safe call on first down, gives Georgia Tech 7 yards.
Summers, the freshman, goes 6'1", about 190 pounds. They're really excited about this receiver core. However, they don't run the football a lot. They always run it. They don't throw it a lot.
Spread option look. The B-back is David Sims. He lines directly behind Lee, and they will pitch it to one of the A-backs, getting to the outside. Good room for B.J. Bostic as he is pushed out at the 10-yard line. Let's take a look at the keys now for Georgia Tech. What must Paul Johnson's bunch do today?
Offensive execution. You saw that on the first play, the pass and reception. Second time, the toss pitch. A nice block by Robert Goodhigh. Gets your runner back outside. First down for Georgia Tech. The other thing is swarm. Be after the defender. Be after the football. Try to make some plays. They've already done that.
That swarming defense, and it was the secondary who created the game's first turnover. The hit by Golden, the recovery by Thomas. Now an injury timeout as they attend to one of the Elon players down behind the play. Let's try to take a look to find out what happened here. Thompson's the injured Phoenix, number 45. Tough to tell from that angle. It happened away from the action on the backside as Thompson was given pursuit. Thompson, one of the experienced linemen on this Elon team. They returned 9 starters off the defensive unit. The senior out of Simpsonville, South Carolina. Started 9 games last year, recorded 21 tackles, and there's not a lot of depth at the down tackle position. So this is a huge, huge early blow for Elon.
Look at the front 4 for Elon. Jay Brown, Dustin Ruff, Jordan Jones, guys that have had some playing time, but not really had a lot of great contributions. And so if you lose a guy like Tony Thompson, it really puts a lot of stress on that second line of defensive linemen.
From the 9.
Be important for Elon here to try to make Georgia Tech kick a field goal, if at all possible.
They'll put Dennis and Summers split to the left side. The A-back to the right is Goodhigh. He will get the call. Tremendous pursuit as Goodhigh is chopped down in the backfield. What a play made that time by Jordan Jones along with Odell Benton.
Number 55,
well, the strength of the defense for Elon are those linebackers, Benton, Spain, and Alexander Dawson. You see this getting right from the tackle there, and then just Odell Benton coming in, making a huge stop.
Loss of 5 yards.
Benton's a returning starter, 47 tackles a season ago, led the team with 6 tackles for loss. He pounds God high for a loss of 5. Second down. Second and goal. Badley running the option for the first time. Pitches it inside the 10, down to the 5. Touchdown, Elon Hill.
Elon Hill, touchdown period.
Offensive line does a great job getting off. You stop the dive, make him pitch. No one lays a hand on Elon Hill.
Elon Hill getting his first start today. The All-Stater from Alabama carried the ball only 6 times a year ago, but his first carry in 2013 goes for 14 yards and a touchdown. Butker with the point after, Tech by 7.
Great start for Georgia Tech. Dive, take the pitch. Elon Hill into the happy zone. Georgia Tech's got a 7-0 lead. Ramblin' Rick.
Tech early on top 7-0. The Yellow Jackets, Elon Hill able to go 14 yards, just a minute 30, 4 plays, 30 yards, the touchdown run by Hill, taking advantage of the Elon fumble as they utilize the short field. Now this Phoenix team in an early hole as Butker with that strong leg sends it out of bounds, but just shy of the goal line. So here comes the marker. Let's go down to the sideline. Steffi has an update on the injured Phoenix player. We'll wait to see what the marker is first before we check in. All right, now let's go down to Steffi. Tony Thompson, what's his status, Steffi?
Well, guys, just taking a look at Tony Thompson, his right knee is covered in ice. It does not look like he's going to make it back to the game. And this kind of is a whirlwind from last season where they had 13 surgeries, including 7 shoulder surgeries. So not a good start for the Elon Phoenix.
Yeah, this team simply decimated by injuries, and they are thin already. Remember, FCS programs with a cap of 63 scholarships. From the 35, Quinn to throw for the first time. Has plenty of time. Pass tip, and it's incomplete. Golden was in the vicinity.
Quinn's pass is incomplete.
Talk about Mike Quinn. Comes in as a junior, his first start. Only threw 20 passes in his career, completed 20 of 29. But they like his ability to move outside the pocket, read defenses, got a very strong arm, and not make a lot of bad decisions. It'd be important for him to have some poise right now with Elon down 7-0.
They will keep it on the ground. First time we have called Carl Bostic. The transfer from Akron actually played 9 games for the Zips back in 2011 as a true freshman. His first collegiate game, Ohio State.
We'll call a lot of names for Elon and their running backs, as we will with Georgia Tech. Carl Bostic, Tracy Coppage, who fumbled earlier again. And then also Pierre Brown sometimes in reverses. They like to get a lot of guys with the football. Big third down for Elon right now.
Georgia Tech shows blitz. They send one. Throw underneath is incomplete. He was looking for Justin Osborne, the redshirt freshman. So a fumble and now a 3-and-out for the Elon offense.
And this kind of falls into the pattern that Elon had last season. They were only 37%, 6th best in the Southern Conference on third down conversion.
David Petroni.
Elon has a pair of true freshmen handling the kicking duties. John Gallagher, the place kicker, and David Petroni out of Buford, Georgia, the true freshman. On for his first punt, and it's blocked. The kick is blocked. Picked up at the 36-yard line, and the Yellow Jackets flying all over the place. Chris Milton with the block. So now special teams contributing.
First punt of your career, 1, 2, got to get rid of it. Jumps in there. Milton does a great job of extending, going in the air, extending, gets the block. Then you've got to find the ball. Corey Dennis, I think, is the one that recovered it. And Georgia Tech in prime position once again.
A good look at Milton coming around the edge, able to get his hand on the punt. So Georgia Tech for the second straight time deep in Elon territory. Badley will float it out toward the pylon. Incomplete. Blanket coverage as they were trying to find Michael Summers.
Pass intended for number 84, Michael Summers.
Edward Burns with the coverage. Burns making the start at cornerback for Akeem Langham, who had to switch over to safety for Julius Moore, who did not get the start. So some shifting last second by the Elon secondary.
They like their corners, and Ed Burns, the senior, along with David Wood. Langham's a very good athlete. He'll move that safety spot. Guys that have great ability, can defend well. They're going to have to come up today.
The option pitch getting to the outside is Bostic. Slips one defender, falls ahead to the 29-yard line.
B.J. Bostic on the carry.
Jay Brown had the initial pursuit.
Tackle made by number 17.
The thing that these Elon defenders have to understand is that you've got to be a read and respond team, but you've got to respond very quickly. And we just mentioned those defensive backs along with Jay Golson. These guys have got to come up, see what the dive play is, and if not, come up and be maybe a solid tackler. Golson makes that play a moment ago.
Georgia Tech, a very good third down team, 45% a season ago. Quick throw, Summers makes the catch, makes a defender miss down the sideline. Finally tripped up at the 12-yard line. First down for the Yellow Jackets. Chandler Reitenberry able to trip him up.
And you've got to be a sure tackler. Just a little quick flip out there. Makes a little move. King Langham doesn't make the tackle, gets a stiff arm. Summers with his second reception of the day is a big play. Again, a lot of pressure on the defensive backs and linebackers for Elon today.
Remember, no Waller today. He was suspended for the opener, so not a lot of experience back at the receiving corps.
And I hate Waller's not playing because his great-grandfather is the singer, the soul singer from back in the day, Fats Waller, and I had some stuff ready for that, you know?
You were ready, weren't you?
Yeah, my uncle was a big fan, and I was going to drop that knowledge, but hey, maybe the next game, huh?
I'm just guessing, Stan. Paul Johnson doesn't care about Fats Waller right now. You look at him, he's all focused, isn't he? This man is a genius running the option. Second down, they give it to Sims, the experienced back, and he plows ahead close to the goal line. David Sims, second leading rusher from a year ago, and they just have so much depth in the backfield to run this option.
Well, we anticipate seeing as many as 9 different running backs on the afternoon from the A or the B back position. David Sims, Zach Lasky, who doesn't get the start, led this team in rushing. God High, who's a tremendous athlete, runs and blocks very well. Bostic Zenon and St. John Day. So they've got a lot of versatility, not to forget about Vad Lee at quarterback.
First and goal, over the top, touchdown, Georgia Tech, David Sims.
Not a lot to it, just a simple dive play. David Sims picking up where he left off last year with 4 touchdowns. Goes over the pile, 14-zip Georgia Tech.
Bucker with the point after.
And your score, Georgia Tech 14, Elon nothing.
Taking advantage of mistakes, Georgia Tech jumps off to the nice lead, flying high. David Sims, touchdown.
5 minutes into this one, and Georgia Tech taking advantage of an early Elon fumble and then a block kick. They go on top 14-0. Compliments of that man right there, David Sims from a yard out. Sims rushed for 4 touchdowns a season ago, and he punches in number 1. Bucker with that strong leg, and for the second time, Elon forced to take a knee. Mike Quinn in this Elon offense ready to start at the 25 and stand. Not that bad. You're looking at the starting position after the first 2 series, but they just can't generate any type of offense.
You go 3 and out. You have a turnover. You have a block kick. What you've got to do now for Elon is just kind of just hold it in the road for a minute. And you couldn't ask for a better start for your first start for Vad Lee and Georgia Tech.
Trying to weather the storm, B.J. Bennett gets his first carry. So 3rd series, 3rd different tailback that we've seen from this Elon program.
Number 33,
B.J.
Bennett on the carry.
He's a guy that they think may possibly, but before this is done, be maybe the best back of the 3. Great speed, goes about 210 pounds, only a freshman, can get to the outside. I like the play call there by Elon. Just something simple. Let's see if we can pick up a couple of yards. Make your 2nd down manageable.
Elon looking for something positive early in this game. Quinn looked right, now comes over the middle. Nice catch is made on a throw behind Andre Davis at the 41. First down for the Phoenix.
Plenty of time this time for Quinn to look around, look for a second receiver. A nice pass here. Going up and getting is Andre Davis. They call him Juice Davis because he's Mr. Excitement.
First down give. They go back to the ground with B.J. Bennett. He pushes past the 45 up to the 46-yard line.
This Elon team averaged about 25 points a ball game. They can score. Primarily last year because of Millette and the quarterback situation. They threw the ball. They scored a lot of touchdowns, 31, 27 by passing. So they want a little more balance this year, a little more run-pass balance.
Quinn on a slant has his man again, and it's another Phoenix first down. Kier Brown, the junior from Charlotte, with the haul-in.
Kier Brown comes from Charlotte Independence High School, won some championships there. The leading returning receiver for Elon with 45 catches and 4 touchdowns. Ability to go over the middle, not afraid to take a hit. Nice, again, you're getting some tempo now established for Elon.
Back-to-back first downs for the Phoenix. For the first time, they have penetrated the Georgia Tech side. Thomas creeps up. Quinn rolls away, opposite side, throws, and it's caught. Kier Brown at the 35, 12 more yards.
Quinn's pass complete to number 31, Kier Brown.
See Jamia Thomas coming from the bottom of your screen with a little blitz. They pick that up, roll your quarterback to the outside, throw outside the numbers, and Kier Brown, we told you, not afraid to take a hit, does a good job running the route, gets to the outside. A nice pass by Quinn for a first down.
Brown able to get a little bit of room from DJ White. Play fake. Quinn zips it over the middle, and it's intercepted. 2nd turnover of the day for Elon. Jabari Hunt Days down the sideline, pushed out of bounds at the 46.
I was just about to say, you got to be patient. You got to be patient. And Ted Roos' defense swarming over the football makes another good play. Sean, if you can read the eyes, look at number 32, Jabari Hunt Days. He knows exactly where this ball is going. Excellent position, gets the interception, had 1 last year, gets his 2nd career INT, and another great bit of field position for Georgia Tech on their 3rd possession of the afternoon.
You look at the mistakes made by Elon when it looked like they had a little bit of momentum. Now Lee's going to go back to the air, wanted to go deep, throws to his checkoff, and it's incomplete. He was looking for the deep ball, instead tried to settle for Sinjin Days.
We were talking earlier in the ball game about the Elon linebackers having a great impact on the game. We haven't talked much about Spain, but the linebackers for Georgia Tech, Watts, Neely, and Hunt Days are 3 of the better linebackers in the ACC. You saw an example of that a moment ago with Jabari Hunt's interception.
Hunt Days started every game last year, first-team freshman All-American, as they go with the counter for the first time. And getting his first call of the afternoon is Tony Zenon.
Number 9, Tony Zenon on the carry.
Zenon's one of the fastest guys on this Georgia Tech team.
Tackle made by number 59.
Backup quarterback Justin Thomas, who I'm sure we'll see later, along with one of the B-backs, Broderick Snoddy. Those 3 guys can flat out fly. Georgia Tech looking at their 2nd 3rd down. They converted earlier in this quarter. From the gun, Lee, all the time in the world, throws toward the marker, first down. B.J. Bostic Out of bounds near the 40-yard line.
Number 7, B.J. Bostic. Tackle made.
Again, the ability to get outside the pocket. Nice steps into the throw. Bostic does a great job of coming back and getting the football. Strength gets you a first down. But what I like, even though, yes, at Georgia Tech, you got a 14-0 lead, your defense has made some plays. Offensively, they've done a really nice job at executing. Everybody's doing their assignments, playing with a lot of poise.
Here's the sprint option as Bad Lee carries for the first time. A marker comes in the back, in the secondary, in the vicinity of maybe a hold by one of the receivers downfield.
Flag on the play.
Our referee today is Walter Davenport.
I'm not sure this might not be. Okay, a chop block, yeah.
You know, for so many years, these blocks below the waist, chop blocks, as we take a closer look.
And I'm not certain if they're going to say that Brian Chamberlain was engaged one guy high and one guy low. I'm not exactly sure if that happened at the line of scrimmage or further downfield. We were watching the football and the defensive backs. Whatever it was, Coach Johnson's not very happy about it right now.
It's going to be on Dennis Andrews.
Dennis Andrews downfield. Keep your eye on Dennis Andrews, the lower portion of the screen.
Number 3. Out of that 7-yard zone.
Out of that 7 zone, right.
Right on the fringe. And that was one of the changes, and we'll take a look at that as they try to protect the player's safety. And the chop block was addressed during the offseason as Lee gets it right up the middle. Big hole, Zach Lasky, leading rusher from a year ago, as we take a look at some of the rule changes for this season. And again, it's all about player safety, leading with the crown of helmet or launching into the head or neck of a defenseless player. 15-yard penalty plus possible ejection. Blocking below the waist and then expanding that 10-second runoff rule. Can always erase that by burning a timeout. Second and short, Lasky with a gaping hole up the middle, cuts back to the 10, Lasky to the 5, stretches, touchdown, Georgia Tech.
Lasky on the touchdown carry.
Not a lot to this. It's a nice job at the offensive line. A block here, goes inside, moving down the field. Watch Jay Finch there blocking, and Lasky running out of gas, moving, grooving, dives and gets in the end zone. The leading rusher on this team returning last year, Zach Lasky, almost 700 yards. They really like his ability to go up the middle and then take it to the outside. 6 plays, 51 yards. Is that what he got?
6 plays, 51 yards, a little more than 2 minutes.
Is good. And your score, Georgia Tech, 21.
Zach Lasky and Georgia Tech pushing up the ante.
The rambling wreck is rolling down the field. Almost runs out of gas here at the end, but Lasky pushing. Touchdown, Georgia Tech.
Yellow Jackets, the rambling wreck, flat out dominating Elon here in the first quarter, 21-0. Making it look easy. Get a good look at Zach Lasky, the leading rusher from a year ago. He scores from 33 yards out. Lasky, Sims, and Dion Hill have all found the end zone in this first quarter for Georgia Tech. Butker getting a good workout in his first game as a Yellow Jacket as we go back to that touchdown run by Lasky.
Lasky goes up the middle, but watch the explosion. Block inside there by Mason. Finch goes down and does a great job. And this is just great effort. Poor tackling by Elon, over pursuing the ball, and then Lasky almost makes it. Doesn't think he's going to make it. Gets in the end zone. Georgia Tech taking advantage of Elon mistakes putting points on the board. Now you find yourself down 21-0. A lot different from last year when they lost 62-0 to North Carolina. They were in the game early in the ball game. A couple of turnovers, Gio Bernard, big plays, boom, boom, boom. They're out of this. They've got to find a way to settle down, try to establish some type of drive.
From the 25-yard line, they will give it to Coppage, his first touch since the early fumble today.
Number 22,
Elon was able to put together some momentum on their last drive. First time they've been able to move the football, but ended in the interception as Jabari Hunt-Days was able to pick it off. But they had a little bit of flow on that last drive, and that's what they're trying to find here as they set up the screen pass too tall. Georgia Tech had that one sniffed out. Euclid Cummings delivered the blow to Quinn.
Pressure applied by number 99,
Cummings, the senior, 6'4", about 275, 280 pounds at that inside tackle spot, putting a lot of pressure on Quinn. Quinn made a mistake there, floated that ball, nearly intercepted. Either take the sack or throw it down or out of bounds. It would have been disaster for them.
Jackets bring Watts on the blitz. Quinn floats it deep down the side, incomplete. Good coverage. He was trying to find Rory, the senior out of North Carolina, but good coverage, and it's a 3-and-out for the Phoenix.
See, and you've worked so hard all summer to get ready for this moment. Now the air's been taken out of the balloon for Elon. You can't have a give-up attitude. You've got to make your plays count. You're not only worrying about this ball game, but you're trying to put some things down to get ready for the season. Continue to execute. I didn't like that offensive sequence with their enthusiasm.
10 guys at the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they come after it. Petroni gets the kick away. The explosive Jamal Golden signals for a fair catch at the 34-yard line. It's a 40-yard punt by David Petroni, and the Georgia Tech offense, who has not been on the field a lot here in the first period.
Had a chance to talk to Brad Sherrod, the new defensive coordinator for Elon last week, about preparing for this team. He said the thing that we've got to make certain we do is that we play every play like it's the last play. It's the first and the last play. Go out and continue to execute. It'll be important. This is the worst field position Georgia Tech has had since the game has started. Can the Elon defense maybe make a play?
From the 34, Lee is going to go back to the air. He's been accurate early, now nowhere to go, and he is forced just to throw it away. He had pressure from all angles. Jay Brown, Chris Jones, both in the backfield. Lee now 3 for 6 for 35 yards in this opening quarter. DeAndre Smelter, first-year player for Tech, former baseball player, splits near side as they run the option to the short side. Terrific timing. Lee feeling his B-back, David Sims, and Sims up near midfield.
Tackle made by Jeremiah Gloston. First and 10, Georgia Tech.
You wonder why this team has averaged over 300 yards of rushing the last 5 seasons. Execution, block at the point of attack, toss the ball to the outside. Sims, we've seen him go up the middle, this time to the outside on the pinch. One of the things you have to do in the Georgia Tech offense as an A-back or a B-back is have the versatility to be able to catch, block, and also run the football effectively.
See the power of Sims despite meeting the initial contact at the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Spain able to come up and hit him, but Sims kept those legs churning for 2-3 more yards, and it's a good first down gain.
First time we've called the name of Jonathan Spain. 4 games last year where he had 10 or more tackles, including 20 against Sanford. Guy that can run from sideline to sideline, preseason all-conference pick. Expect Jonathan Spain. Keep your eye on number 52. He's got to make some plays.
120 tackles last year, the 4th highest in Elon history. And around the near side with some good room is Dennis Andrews. Andrews down the sideline, trying to tightrope to the pylon, but they're going to say he stepped out at the 3.
Dennis Andrews on the carry.
We've seen Godhigh, Days, Hill, Bostic, Zenon, and now Dennis Andrews.
Last season, Georgia Tech had 10 guys to rush for over 10 times or more during the season to carry the football. We're seeing an example of that. They've got 9 backs they've got on the depth chart, plus a quarterback. Does he step out? Just steps out there. But Andrews is one of the guys that they're so excited about. Has that ability as a freshman to run. Early enrollee at Georgia Tech a couple years ago. Initially was a quarterback, now an outstanding A-back.
Sims lines up behind Lee. Bad Lee will pitch it near side, hopping a defender and into the end zone for another Georgia Tech touchdown.
Number 21, Charles Perkins.
Charles Perkins, the redshirt junior, the A-back, picking up a perfect pitch from Bad Lee.
Coach Swepson and says, wow, I didn't see this coming this quick.
And for the extra point.
Bucker on for the point after. Low snap, dug out. He boots it on through. Georgia Tech. 5 plays, 66 yards. Again, a drive that takes less than 2 minutes. A 3-yard touchdown run by Charles Perkins. And take a look at the scoring today, Stan. It's all off Elon mistakes.
Well, you start the game on your second play with a fumble, and you got to recover. That leads to the touchdown there. A block kick on your very first block. Touchdown over the top by Sims. Watch Lasky come here to the interception. Lasky with the run. And then here's the punt. And then after this, 5 plays later, Perkins, the 4th guy to get into the end zone today. And you think about the versatility of the offense for Georgia Tech, the 28 points off 21, plays, 21 points off the 2 turnovers and a block. Last season, Georgia Tech scored 20 touchdowns in 2 minutes or less. Today, they've already scored 3. And then you take that even further, they scored 60 touchdowns. Here's the great thing I like about them. They had 25 touchdowns, 5 plays or less. They're a quick, explosive team. We've seen it today. What has it been? 4, 6, 4, 5.
Number 4, Andre Davis.
So the offense right now to the helm of Vad Lee, picking up where they left off last season.
And that is a myth. You think option football and you think 3 yards in a cloud of dust. It could not be anything different for Georgia Tech. They are a big play offense with that spread option look. Elon, for the first time, will have a chance on the return. Kier Brown, and he is tripped up shy of the 20. Special teams play made by Charles Perkins.
Charles Perkins doing it on both sides of the football. Scores a moment ago and comes in with the big hit. Brown takes it, thinks he's going to make some play. Watch 21 come in here and bam, upsets the apple cart. What a big tackle there. Perkins pretty excited, huh? He gets it on both sides. Watch his hit.
1st and 10, Elon from the 18.
So here's a guy, Perkins, who is not even on the depth chart, and he's already scored a touchdown and made a special teams play in this first quarter. Elon from the 18, Quinn from the shotgun. He will hand it off to B.J. Bennett. Bennett squeezes past the 20. Bennett was a phenomenal track star in South Carolina, West Columbia, South Carolina. In fact, the male track athlete of the year. He scored 36 individual points at the state meet.
Gain of 3 yards.
Some very good athletes. As you saw Perkins a moment ago, you're watching Bennett. They can get out in open space and make some plays. Perkins showing you why he wants to continue to get some playing time. When you get a chance in a game like this, it looks, you got to make some plays. Perkins, we've seen do that once on offense, once on defense.
One of the rare times the play clock is inside 10. Quinn feeling the heat, throws down the middle, and it is caught into the secondary up ahead to the 48-yard line.
To number 5,
it's Ricky Brown, his first catch.
Tackle made by number 4, Jamal Golden.
Quinn has shown me some poise. Stays in the pocket, nice protection. Right over the middle, Brown with a nice catch. Picks up a couple extra yards. gets out of the end zone area. Now Elon can open their offense a little more. Remember, this was a team last year that threw more than they passed, trying to get balance, but behind 28 points, you tend to think they're going to try to put it in the air to get some points on the board.
26 yards on that last connection as they run the read option over the left side. Carl Bostic
Number
gets
10,
two.
Carl Bostic on the carry. Tackle made by number 11, Brandon Watts.
Brandon Watts, Jabari Hunt Days, Kayshawn Neely, this linebacking core. Georgia Tech making the adjustment to the 4-3. They played a lot of 4-3 late last year. They were a 3-4 team under Al Groh, but Ted Roof has brought the 4-3, and his Yellow Jacket players certainly responded during the offseason, excited to play in this type of scheme.
Ted Roof, the defensive coordinator on that national championship team at Auburn.
Tunnel screen, trying to get a little room for Justin Osborne, but the Jackets sniff it out. Minimal gain.
And the mantra has been all fall camp to basically swarm, to not think so much, but to react, make plays, let athletes make those plays. We saw that on the first play of the ball game, or second, I should say, with the fumble recovery. We see Hunt Days with his interception, and even on that tunnel screen, you see 4 or 5 white jerseys after the football. So they come with some pressure on Quinn.
Timeout, Elon.
Confusion by the Phoenix, so they will burn a timeout.
Elon, that's their first charge timeout of the half.
Elon using their first timeout.
30-second timeout.
It's been a quarter of mistakes for the Phoenix here in Atlanta. Their first trip to the flats. 4 first downs, but you see the turnovers and the 3 3-and-outs. Plus you factor in the block punt, and quite frankly, for Coach Swepson and company, I don't think you could have scripted a much worse start here on the road in a hostile environment.
Yeah, and you look at that third possession, which led to the Hunt Days interception. You saw them moving the football. A good timeout here in a 3rd and long situation now. Make certain that you've got what you want. Look for your play. But when you're in a game like this and you've been hit with the tidal wave, you've had the knockout punch thrown so fast, you've got to find a way now to recover. There's still a long game. As I said, it's a long season you have to play. You don't panic and try to make it worse. Elon, we talked about a moment ago, only 37% in 3rd down this year. Last year, it should really be important. Get this first down, keep this drive going.
Saw the graphic, just one win against the ACC, and you have to go all the way back to 1928. Pass for Bennett is dropped, and Elon looking at another 4th down. This marks the 4th straight year that Elon has opened up against
number 39, David Petroni,
an FBS program. Last year, as Stan alluded to earlier, they were wiped out by North Carolina 62-zip. Lost to Vanderbilt a couple of years ago, and then Duke in 2010. Jamal Golden hoping to get a chance on a return. High kick, he'll field inside the 10, and good special teams coverage by the Phoenix on the all-ACC returner, Jamal Golden
on the return.
When you're looking at film, I guess you look at tape now, DVDs. You look at film. But when you're replaying this game later, that punt coverage is something that you take away as a positive. You're not looking at the clock. You're not looking at the scoreboard. You're trying to make each play the most important play you can. Stay in this game. Stay conscious of what you're doing.
By far the worst starting position on the day for Badley and the Yellow Jackets. Inside their 10, in control, leading 28-0. Lee will put Bostic in motion. 4-step drop. Lee looking toward the side, has his man making the catch. Out of the backfield is Dion Hill. A little bit of breathing room for Georgia Tech as Hill goes up to the 25. 16 yards on the completion.
Really impressed with the fact that Vadley, not really under a lot of pressure, able to kind of survey the defense, gets Hill coming out of the backfield underneath route, throws a nice softball. Hill's able to catch and pick up good yardage.
Sims gets the call, and he busts through a hole on the left side, pushes out past the 35 up to the 36-yard line.
Take a look at Vadley. There's your fake to Sims. Just a message. That's the play a moment ago to Sims. And one of the things that the line has done a great job of for Georgia Tech is they have kept a body on a body with those linebackers. We've only called Odell Benton's name one time for Elon and also for Jonathan Spain and Alexander Dawson. These three guys are the leaders of the defense. The offensive line doing a great job of controlling the line of scrimmage.
What should be the final play of the quarter, Sims will push ahead past the 40, pick up the first down.
Tackle by Corey Mitchell. First and 10,
Sims has seen the majority of the carries in this first quarter, the opening 15 minutes, and Paul Johnson certainly happy with quarter number one. All Georgia Tech, the Ramblin' Wreck here in the flats, all over Elon, 28-0.
Georgia Tech 28, Elon nothing.
Splendid Saturday afternoon here in Midtown Atlanta. Historic Bobby Dodd Stadium at historic Grant Field, celebrating its 100th year. A season-long celebration beginning today, and what a 15-minute debut for Georgia Tech as they start quarter number two, leading 28-0. Lee finds Sims wide open, picks up a downfield block from Dennis. Sims zigzagging to the 15. He's to the 5. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets.
Touchdown pass complete to number 20, David Sims.
59 yards, lead to Sims.
Play fake, misdirection. You get your Sims, who we saw a moment ago come out of the backfield, and that's just easy. Another job of not pursuing hard, not being able to get in your lanes, but just an excellent offensive effort by quarterback Vadley and receiver / running back now, David Sims.
Sims caught only 2 passes a year ago. One of those was for a touchdown. Bucker sends the point after through, and Georgia Tech just keeps pouring it on. Yellow Jackets, this time it's Vadley going to the air. David Sims with his second touchdown, all Ramblin' Wreck. Georgia Tech on the very first play of the second quarter. Now on top, 35-0, 4 plays, 91 yards. David Sims with the 59-yard touchdown reception, and what a start to this season for Mr. Sims.
Well, you talked about it. He only had 2 receptions last season, and already today, very, very close to over 100 yards in total offense. Very efficient blocking, catching, and running.
Kier Brown takes a knee for the touchback.
Sims battled some injuries last season, but they felt like that this year may be a positive year. Came off of a nice ball game against USC in the Sun Bowl. Misdirection there. You see, he just comes out of the backfield untouched. You get one block downfield. There's a nice job there, and then all of a sudden it's just using your athletic ability and making a play. Corey Dennis comes down, has had a nice ball game, had to recover the fumble, comes down, leads the blocking. You just weave your way in for the touchdown. And the offensive efficiency has been very, very good for the Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech in the first half.
You saw those points per game last year for Georgia Tech. In ACC games alone, they averaged 40 points per contest, so even higher.
And you look at Georgia Tech last season in 14 games, only scored 107 points in the first quarter. But the second quarter was their big quarter last year. Maybe that's ominous for Elon. They scored 150 points in the 14 games last season. Elon gave up the season high of 123. So again, if you're an Elon fan, you want to try to figure out a way to get through this second quarter. And if you're Georgia Tech, keep putting points on the board.
Quinn on a slant. And making the skidding catch is Rasan Roy. It's a short gain up to the 31, setting up a third down.
I'm Elon and their staff. I want to tell my guys right now, guys, forget the score. Let's go out at 0-0 and let's find a way to put our offense together. We've seen a few minutes where it's flickered and been good, but they've not been to be anything consistent. Too many turnovers, too many mistakes.
Georgia Tech rushes only 4. They throw underneath, and slipping free is Rory. He'll pick up the first down to the 48-yard line. Quinn now 7 of 13, 73 yards in this first half.
Quinn takes his time, surveys the field. The little inside route. Rory, a very solid receiver at the Z spot. Had 21 catches last season. Nice catch, moves the chains.
Fresh set of downs for the Phoenix, and now getting a little bit too antsy was a left tackle for Elon. Austin Sowell, a junior from Knoxville, Tennessee. But I think he might have been enticed there by the end on the far side for Georgia Tech. He was. You get big Euclid Cummings flinching at you, I think I might come out of my stance as well. So it now becomes 1st and 5 as they go back to the ground with Bostic. Second time in this first half that Elon has penetrated the Yellow Jackets side of the field.
And it's been a relatively clean football game from the penalty side. Neither one of these teams last season had an abundance of penalties. Elon never had over 8 in a ball game. Georgia Tech only had 8 or more 2 times. So they play efficient football, and if you're not making turnovers, it gives you an opportunity to put points on the board.
Elon knew coming in they would have a tough time keeping Georgia Tech off the board, but this has been one of the more pass-happy offenses in the FCS over the past few years. In fact, they have ranked no worse than 23rd in the FCS over the last 7 years. But again, you're missing Aaron Millette, who caught 97 balls a year ago, and the starting quarterback, Thomas Wilson, the number 2 passer in school history. So you look at the numbers, they have been able to move the ball, but it's a new cast of characters. It's going to take time.
They were a team that threw the football 408 times as opposed to 361 runs. And a lot of the times they were throwing deep to Millette, as you said, one of the top receivers in the country. Now with the Baltimore Ravens, I guess he made the cutter here. We're still waiting to hear.
There's some room over the right side, and finally Elon able to find a little peephole, and it's Tracy Coppage. By far the best run in the first half for the Phoenix.
But you talk to offensive coordinator Chris Pensy, and he's talking about we want to try to have more balance. You look at the losses of Thomas Wilson, the second leading passer in school history, and also Aaron Millette, who's also one of the best receivers in the Southern Conference of all time. But they wanted to have a little more balance. Last year there might have been like 70-30 pass to run. This year you wanted to try to be maybe 60-40. But they believe in airing it out. This has been a very nice drive for Elon so far.
Play clock down to 5. They will hand it off, and nowhere to go. Adam Gotsis from down under from Australia. He is anticipating a big season, and that time he met the running back.
Need I say the Thunder from down under gets rid of the blocker. An easy tackle for Adam Gotsis. They're looking for huge things out of him. Only a sophomore. Love the way he comes out with a great attitude, a lot of enthusiasm at that nose spot.
Gotsis started football at the age of 13. He began his young career on a rec team in Melbourne, Australia. 2nd and 13. Quinn hit as he throws. He finds Warwick, the tight end, and Warwick is close to a first down. Finally corralled by Neely, but tough running after the catch by Doug Warwick.
And Mike Quinn really took a lick as he got rid of that football. Let's to the left side. Watch here to the outside. Quinn looks left, throws right, gets hit there.
3rd down.
Big tackle on the inside play. Number 93, Emmanuel Diakay. But a great catch on the backside by Warwick. Warwick goes about 220 pounds at 6'6", sheds a tackler. Very close to a first down.
Rory in motion. They go up the middle with it. Bostic patient running, and he'll pick up the first down. Carl Bostic up ahead to the 13. 6 yards on 3rd And a buck.
Elon was confident that they had some plays on their play sheet that they could run against Georgia Tech and try to make some plays. You remember the offensive line of Elon averages about 280 pounds, so they're not really that much outweighed defensive line of Georgia Tech, and they felt like their speed, they could get inside those tackles and make some plays. A nice run a moment ago.
Not a real good red zone offense efficiency last year. They make their first trip today, and they go up the middle with B.J. Bennett. Bennett is met. Hit a hard hit delivered by a couple of Yellow Jackets in the fray. Jeremiah Atauchu. First time we mentioned him.
Yeah, I've been practicing the Atauchu all week. I wanted to say that. The Elon offensive lineman is down, but you would have thought as many points as Elon scored last year that they would be a little more efficient in red zone. They were 8th best in the Southern Conference, only with 19 touchdowns, 74%, which isn't really bad, but you would think they would score a few more. But they had a lot of problems finishing plays last year. Their kicking game, only 11 of 18 from their kickers, so they're really excited about both teams having young kickers. Elon feels like they've got a very special one themselves.
Thomas McGuire, the sophomore, is the injured player. First-year starter, played in only 5 games last year, a recruit out of Ames, Iowa. Went to Ames High School. Good to see him running off on his own power. Mentioned all the different holes that Elon had to fill coming into the season. They return only 4 starters, 2 of them on the offensive line. Clay Johnson at center, making his 20th consecutive start today. The preseason All-SoCon pick, and then the left tackle and Austin Sowell.
Ed McGuire, as you said, then they moved Dennis Wagner around from a center last year to back up to the right guard, Aka.
Second down. Remember, they can still pick up a first down inside the 5. Quinn looks right, throws underneath, incomplete. Neely with the coverage.
Intended for number 22.
In and out of the hands of Tracy Coppage.
Showed a little motion that time, and then eventually had a stack wide receiver with Rory.
Third down.
Coppage going away from that ball. You remember early in the game we talked about a Georgia Tech receiver coming and meeting that pass and then making the first down. There was an example there of your receivers got to catch the ball and then get your shoulders turned upfield.
Kier Brown is the go-to guy for Elon. He lines up as the slot. To the top of the side, number 31. Keep an eye on him. They're looking his way. Instead they throw, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Georgia Tech. Down the sideline, and the Yellow Jacket defense strikes again. Ted Roof and the Ramblin' Wreck.
Touchdown by number 35.
Tyler McCordis, the backup linebacker, 96 yards, and that look says it all.
You had the slant to both sides. You talked about Kier Brown, just a misread. McCordis was just in his drop zone area, an easy pick. You and I could have had that interception. Great positioning by Ted Roof's defense, and yet another touchdown for the Ramblin' Wreck.
Mark Cortez, the first player from the state of Illinois to play here at Georgia Tech since 2006. The Ramblin' Wreck all over Elon, 42-0 Georgia Tech. The redshirt sophomore from Normal, Illinois, Tyler Marcordes, with a 95-yard interception return. Some of his teammates coming over, including Adam Gotsis, the starting down tackle, and you can almost read the lips going, man, I didn't know you were that fast. He sprinted down the side. 95 yards on the interception return. Elon, 3 turnovers resulting in 3 Georgia Tech point. 3 Georgia Tech touchdowns. Another touchback situation as Brown takes a knee, and let's go back to the interception by McCordis. 2
wides to both sides, but watch McCordis above the hash mark here. He just drops off Brown. He reads his pass. That's simple. Practice. And then McCordis takes this to the house, 95 yards, which now makes the 5th longest interception for a touchdown in Georgia Tech history. Ties a guy that's a legend in Georgia Tech, Ken Swilling. But at 95 yards. But again, you have something going positive for you if you're Elon, and you're so close. But yet the youth of Mike Quinn, and you make a big mistake. Drop zone, boom, pass, touchdown. And you find yourselves down 42 points.
First and 10 from the 25.
So Coach Swepson has seen his quarterback make 2 mistakes, and that's one thing he just did not do the first couple of years in the backup role. And coming into this game, we talked about his smarts, but a couple of bad reads and an opportunistic Georgia Tech defense making him pay. And ironically enough, you look at the 2 interceptions coming from the linebacking core for Georgia Tech. Jabari Hunt-Days with the first pick, and now the backup backer, Marquartis.
Remember, Ted Roof was an outstanding linebacker here at Georgia Tech, part of that Black Watch defense. So he's got a passion for making sure those backers make plays, and certainly today they've come up with 2 big ones.
Over the left side, picking up 3 yards is B.J. Bennett. Get a good look at Ted Roof, who was the defensive coordinator last year at Penn State under Bill O'Brien. He was part of Gene Chiswick's staff when Auburn won the national championship in 2010.
It's 3rd down.
Really a great guy, too. Like I said, was at Auburn, was at Penn State.
From the 29.
I met him during his days at Duke. And just a guy that really you want to see good things happen for him. And certainly coming back home, it's been very comfortable. And if this is any indication of what you're going to see out of the defense of Georgia Tech, some good things are going to happen for the Jackets this season.
3rd down, pressure over the middle, and Warwick makes the 2nd catch. So he's been a nice go-to guy when the pockets collapsing all around Quinn. He's looked for number 82 a couple of times now.
He's done a nice job in taking Kier Brown out of the deep route, so underneath is going to be there. And that time Quinn, not under a lot of pressure, sees the whole field, and Warwick's come up with his 2nd big catch. We saw him knock over a few people a moment ago. This time kind of uses his hands, extends his body, gets the 1st down.
Georgia Tech looked like they wanted to send a corner blitz. They had Len Griffin cheating up near the line of scrimmage. Now he backs off. Fresh set of downs halfway through the 2nd quarter. And on 1st down, Bostic is hit hard.
Number 10.
Minimal gain, pounded by Paul Davis. So here we are, 6:52 to go, 2nd quarter. Georgia Tech up big, and we're already starting to see some of those 2nd and 3rd string guys get some reps.
Well, this is the day you get on tape. You're tired. You've been going a month where you've been hitting the guys in the same jersey, so you get a chance to hit some new uniforms. And for your 2nd and maybe 3rd team guys, this is a chance to kind of move yourself up the depth chart, get some more moments of play as we get into October.
Play clock down to 2. Elon might have to use the timeout. Let's see if they got one called in time. Coach Swepson came flying onto the field, and it looks like a timeout was called before the delay of game. Still no official word from our referee, Walter Davenport. Here it comes. Well, what's the old adage? When it rains, it pours. He couldn't even get the timeout there before the delay of game. Get a good look at Jason Swepson. Played at Boston College, 1992 graduate in his 3rd year.
2nd down,
became the 20th head football coach in Elon history on January 10th of 2011. Spent some time actually with Tom O'Brien when he was head coach at North Carolina State. Coached Andre Brown, who's now with the Giants. So nice resume, and trying to bring winning football to Elon in a very competitive Southern Conference.
They are a very competitive conference, as you mentioned earlier, going to the CAA next year. But Elon has some history. Back in the 1980s, you may remember an NAIA back-to-back national championships. So they've done some things positive there, moving this program in the right direction as they move up the ladder from NAIA to Division II. the FCS, and I tell you what, if you've never been on the campus of Elon outside of Burlington, North Carolina, you're in for a treat. An absolutely gorgeous campus.
Saw Rory make the catch. First down underneath. They go with the tight end. Minimal gain here. That time Watts was shadowing Jesse Tate, the tight end.
Stopped by number 11, Brandon Watts.
Go over and watch Elon play. Back in the day, Jerry Tolley led on to those new national championships in the AIA. Red Wilson kind of put him on the map. Red means go. Red Wilson ended up going to Duke for a few years as the head coach, but they had a very high-powered offense in the late 70s, early 80s.
Mentioned Elon moving to the Colonial next year, and big reason for that, a lot of their recruits come from the Northeast. Just makes sense for that type of geographical change, even though it will be an expensive move for the university. They thought one that was wise to try to tap in, get some of the Northeast recruits.
Very studious, very high academics there at Elon. Like I said, just an absolutely beautiful campus.
Gain of 2 yards.
In that triangle area, triad of Raleigh, Durham, outside of Chapel Hill, about 30 minutes, maybe less than that from Greensboro. And what they're doing on the field, got a nice facility, the Road Center. Good things are happening at Elon.
Mike Quinn checking off. He's from the Northeast. Wayne, New Jersey product. Has time. Zips over the middle. Pass tipped and incomplete. Kayshawn Neely got a hand on it.
Broken up.
So we take a look at the Colonial Athletic, and this is what Elon will be heading into starting in the fall of 2014. Some good programs. Richmond, Stony Brook, the Seawolves with their running game. Towson pulled off an opening night upset, knocking off UConn on Thursday. Villanova, William and Mary. So that's what the Phoenix will be looking at.
They go from, what is it, from the frying pan, from the fire to the frying pan. You're in the Southern Conference. They had 3 teams in the NCAAs last year, and Appalachian and Georgia Southern are moving up a notch after this year, but Wofford's been a perennial power, and Citadel was good last year at 7-4, and Chattanooga. They leave those guys and say, okay, ooh, you know, we're big, and we're going to a tougher conference maybe. Wow.
42-yard punt, matching the 42 up on the board by Georgia Tech. Smiles here on a sunny day in Atlanta. The Flats, Georgia Tech on top, 42-0 as they start deep in their own end from the 5-yard line. And the new quarterback in there is Justin Thomas. Our first look at the redshirt freshman from Prattville, Alabama. Thomas, one of the fastest guys on the team. He was recruited by LSU, Florida State, Alabama. But Paul Johnson said, if you come play for me, I'm going to put you at quarterback. Those other schools weren't willing to do that, so here is Thomas in his first action as a Yellow Jacket.
And if you think Vad Lee is quick, you've not seen anything yet with Justin Thomas. Quick, speedy, a very accurate arm. They said they were going to get him in this ball game no matter what, win, lose, or draw. This is the debut of a young guy that I think is going to give a lot of smiles to the Georgia Tech fans.
Thomas carrying out the option, but it is stuffed in the backfield. Good read that time. Odell Benton had that play read. Benton, one of the experienced linebackers in this Phoenix core, with a tackle for loss.
One of the things that you have to do if you're Justin Thomas is now understand the speed of the ball game, and that time maybe had to read just a little late there. Do you give it to the die back, or do you keep that? Odell Benton does a nice job of coming up and making the tackle.
Good opening half for Vad Lee in his first career start. You see the passing numbers, 111 yards. Only carried the ball once for 8 yards. Really did not have to. Here's a delayed quarterback keeper, and there is nowhere to go. John Silas, the redshirt freshman out of Georgia.
Justin Thomas.
And for the first time, Georgia Tech will send out the punting unit.
Gain of 2 yards.
Sean Poole, the veteran punter for the Yellow Jackets, onto the field for the first time.
Poole, really, you look at the numbers and number of games and possessions. He only punted the ball 33 times last year. They had a lot of ball games where they didn't punt. They punt fewer than 4 times, about 7 games last season. So this is uncharted territory. He says, I don't get to let you punt much. Let me make it a good one.
High kick fielded at the 47. Trying to escape near side, being chased This is David Wood, nowhere to go. Special teams coverage by Georgia Tech's Lynn Griffin. It's a return of 3 yards. 44-yard punt. Georgia Tech on top. Inside 2 minutes to go here in the first half. 42-0 Georgia Tech out in front of the Phoenix from Elon from the FCS. And now Quinn in this offense will try to get some points on the board before halftime. Working with the 2 timeouts. Quinn, home run ball, looking for Rory, and he overshot him, incomplete. Pretty good coverage there by Lewis Young.
Rasan Rory.
First time they've really shown that. Had Young had him in one-on-one coverage to the outside. Rory did a nice job of getting away from the line of scrimmage. And again, you see the example and the evidence that Quinn's got a very solid arm. It just kind of leads him just a little too far. I want to get him under that ball. But I like the idea of trying to stretch the defense, get some points on the board.
Draw play, and it works. B.J. Bennett into the secondary, 13 yards to the 35-yard line. Good tackle there made by Jamal Golden, and that was one of the areas they really worked with on Golden, his one-on-one open field tackle.
Yeah, did a really nice job in bringing Bennett down. We talked about Bennett being one of those young guys that they're really excited about Elon. Nice run in the open field for him.
Quinn, pressure from the edge, throws underneath, short gain. It's Bennett, tackled immediately by Neely.
That's a dangerous play that time, I think. Quishon Neely decided to make the play on the receiver, Bennett, as opposed to going after that ball. Quinn's got to be sharper with those angles on those 3-step drops.
Start to keep an eye on the clock. Inside a minute to go. Elon, you see, with the 2 timeouts. Empty backfield for Quinn. They set up the tunnel screen. Pass tipped and intercepted. Right through the hands of the receiver, but there is a marker down, so we'll wait and see what the penalty's all about. Lewis Young, for the time being, with the interception.
Offside. Defense number 93. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Emmanuel Dieke offside, so the interception wiped off. Fortunate break for Elon as that pass went right through the hands of Andre Davis. Dieke with a couple of sacks last year in 12 starts.
Second down and 3.
Had a big ACC championship game against Florida State, in which he recorded a sack, forced a fumble, and also recovered one against the Seminoles. This penalty will push the ball inside the 30. They will mark it officially at the 28. So second down. Yep, 2 timeouts to work. Second and a short 4. It's the delayed draw here as they hand it off and nowhere to go. Pursuit all over the place. Brandon Watts, Euclid Cummings in the backfield. Coppage loses a couple.
I kind of think now Coach Swepson says he's going to use one of those 2 timeouts remaining. You think you try to maybe stretch the defense, see if you can get something on the board, get a little bit of excitement going before you get into the half. But this has been just total domination by Georgia Tech, taking full advantage of mistakes.
Please reset the game clock.
Just getting started with the 2013 college football season, and here are some upcoming ACC telecasts to look forward to on ESPN3. Coming up today, North Carolina Central will take on Duke. The Blue Devils, David Cutcliffe's squad, coming off a bowl win last year. Western Carolina, Virginia Tech next week, September 7th. Duke in Memphis. I'll be in Raleigh with the call of North Carolina State and Richmond, another FCS FBS matchup there for the
Coach
Wolfpack.
Doran era.
Yeah.
Starting about right now as they play Louisiana Tech. But you look at those games, Western Carolina, a team that wants to get much better than where they were last year, only 1-10 against Virginia Tech. That North Carolina Central Duke game, the Battle of the Bull City, Durham, North Carolina, only 3 miles apart from those 2 respective schools. A game that really benefits the city there, where those 2 schools get together and do some positive things. So a lot of things to watch over the next few days, tonight, next week. You're going to be in Raleigh. Got some great places to tell you to eat in Raleigh now.
To hook up with you afterward today.
Some great restaurants in Raleigh.
Third down, Elon with one timeout left. Cummings all of a sudden like a torpedo. He's made a couple of big plays here as we wind down the first half.
Tackle made by
and
number
Elon's
99,
going to get a chance to find out how strong a leg John Gallagher has. Gallagher, the true freshman out of Caldwell, New Jersey. I'm guessing will be sent onto the field here just to try to get something positive heading into the locker room. It's been a half dominated, as evident by the score. Georgia Tech set the tone early. On the second play from the line of scrimmage, Elon fumbled the football. It was scooped up by Jamia Thomas, and the Yellow Jackets were off and running. 42 unanswered here in the first half. 5 different Yellow Jackets scoring. David Sims with a pair of touchdowns. Ted Roof in his return to the flats. What a debut for his defense, creating the 3 turnovers.
You got to think Gallagher's going to make this attempt, but don't forget that Mike Quinn is the holder.
47-yard field goal on John Gallagher's first career attempt. Stan mentioned Quinn with the hold. Kick on the way, has plenty of leg, but he pushed it to the right, no good. And the shutout is intact for the Yellow Jackets.
Georgia Tech 42, Elon nothing.
Georgia Tech 42, Elon nothing as the teams head to the break. Dion Hill, Zach Lasky, Charles Perkins, David Sims, Tyler Marcordes, all with touchdowns, all smiles right now for Coach Johnson. Let's head down to Steffi Sorensen.
Coach, defense, the biggest story in the first half. What do you like from your team so far?
Well, it's been kind of a crazy game. The offense played really well the first half except for the last series, and the defense has kind of been bend but don't break. They've gotten some turnovers that have been great, created some easy scores, but we got to get them off the field on third down a little better.
Badly making his first career start. How do you like his play so far?
Well, I think he's played okay. He's done some good things and managed the game. The more he plays, the better he's going to get.
Thanks, Coach. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Steffi. And Paul Johnson looking to go 5-1 on season openers. Last year, the loss to Virginia Tech on opening night. But today, it is all Georgia Tech. David Sims, a couple of touchdowns, including this long haul in. Yellow Jackets 42-zip.
Coca-Cola.
Welcome back to Atlanta. Good look at the skyline directly behind Bobby Dodd Stadium here at historic Grant Field. And as we get ready to start the second half, let's swing it down to Steffi Sorensen. She is with Jason Swepson for Elon.
A lot of these young kids.
Swepson, turnovers were a big issue for your team in the first half. What kind of adjustments do you have to make?
Well, we got a young offensive staff out there, young offensive players. And, we coached them up, and they just got to protect the football, make good decisions. We were disappointed in that interception for a touchdown right there in the end of the half. But, I think we got a good offense. We showed signs of moving the football. We just got to get it in the end zone now.
And, Coach, you preached playing a solid 60 minutes.
Yeah.
So what was the message to your team at halftime?
Well, we got 30 minutes left, so we're going to try to come out here. We got a lot of young kids playing college football for the first time, so, we're going to try to enjoy this experience, ACC football, and get a lot of these young kids on film and, get them coached up for the weeks to come.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Sean?
Boy, I like that approach, Stan, here in 60 minutes of football.
Yeah.
30 minutes left. Make the best of it.
You heard that a minute ago from me.
I did.
But that's exactly right. Look at this. They've run 44 plays and had 183 yards of total offense. Against most teams, that would at least have put some points on the board. But that big elephant in the room, 3 of 9 in third down conversions, and then the turnovers and the interceptions and such like. So you take that away. You get some guys out there and you say, fellas, look, where would you rather be than on a football Saturday, historically, Grant Field, 100th anniversary, playing a team like Georgia Tech, 4 times national champion, ACC champions. Hey, let's go. When you drive by 85 the rest of your life, you're always going to look at the stadium. I played there.
Sure.
And so you want to know that you gave it your best that you have.
make the most of the opportunities presented.
Exactly. And so that's what I think that was the story. Yeah, you're disappointed in how it's going so far, but hey, you got another half. Get some names on the board.
Here's how misleading statistics can be. If you would go up and talk to Jason Swepson before this game and say, hey, coach, you held Georgia Tech to 1 rushing yard in the second quarter, I think he'd be pretty happy. That's what they did. But the circumstances with that 42-0 lead as John Gallagher puts the ball deep into the end zone. So the Yellow Jackets will open up at the 25-yard line. And they will send out the starter Vad Lee to begin this series here in quarter number 3. Again, Lee did not have to run the football in the first 2 quarters. He was very effective throwing it, including the 59-yard touchdown pass to David Sims. Let's see if they get him more into that option game to open up that part of his game a little bit more.
I would expect to see dives and a lot of pitches and a lot more A-backs getting involved in the offense. I don't think you're going to see Vad Lee have a lot of runs.
First down give is to the B-back, David Sims over the right side. Elon stuffed it pretty tight that time, led by Jonathan Spain.
Roderick Snoddy on the carry. Tackled by number 23.
We talked about Jonathan Spain in the opening of the ball game.
Gain of 4 yards.
120 tackles, 4th best in the Southern Conference. By my totals, only his 2nd tackle of the afternoon.
You go up the middle with it, and busting through a couple of tacklers is Broderick Snoddy. Snoddy, the redshirt sophomore, 5'9", 190-pounder. One of the fastest Yellow Jackets, 6.75, 60-meter dash. He was part of the Georgia Tech indoor and outdoor track team, set a number of Tech records last winter and spring. This guy can run. Just seems like we say that about all their backs here.
Well, I expect to see Snoddy a couple more times. B.J. Bostic, Zenon, we've seen earlier in the ball game, get a few touches, get everybody out there.
Lee will option it out. Last second pitch knocked out of bounds by Chandler Reitenberry.
Charles Perkins on the
Perkins, the ball carrier, gets 3.
And Chandler Reitenberry was a story that we didn't get a chance to talk much about. Really kind of taken out of this ball game. Number 41. He's been a backup. He's played baseball at Elon for 3 seasons. Been a 4-year starter here. A guy that really is aggressive at the free safety position, can do a lot of things. Very aggressive, had 70 tackles on the season last year. But they look at him as one of those keys. He, along with Spain, and we talked about Odell Benton, you know, the linebacking corps, being the leaders, those 9 returning guys that Elon has coming back. But Reitenberry being kind of quiet this afternoon.
Snoddy tripped up by Brown, setting up a 3rd down for Georgia Tech.
They had him on the preseason All-Southern Conference team. And what he does is he's got great speed, excellent hot hand and eye coordination, and as we mentioned, not afraid to stick his nose in there and make a play.
He has started every game the last 2 years as the Yellow Jackets convert on 3rd down, and once again it's Broderick Snoddy up past the 1st down marker to the 49.
Tackle made by number 55, Odell Benton.
The strength of this Elon team, at least on paper, coming into the season was their defense. 9 starters returning, especially the back end, the secondary with Langham and Wood, Reitenberry, like you mentioned, at safety, and Julius Moore. An area they certainly need to improve on, judging by the numbers from last year, especially against the run.
But numbers can be misleading, as you mentioned a moment ago, because you think about it, Georgia Tech started, they've either scored on turnovers in 2 occasions or they scored on short fields. So we've seen the ability to come out and make plays. They're not giving up the big long run. We saw the one pass to Sims, but pretty much they've done a nice job at containing. Now, obviously, Georgia Tech hasn't pulled all the wrinkles out. But you got to go away right now at Elon and say, hey, you've done some good things. Stretch this out.
Speaking of stretching it out, that's Vad Lee taking it past the 40 for another Yellow Jacket first down. He had Jay Brown shadowing him every step of the way, but you saw some of that composure from Lee there.
And you saw some of the speed, too. Jay Brown's a big guy, about 262 pounds, but can also run very well from the defensive end. He was closing but could never catch up with Vad Lee. Vad Lee just turns the corner, gets just enough for the first down. It looks like an Elon player down on the field.
That's Michael Pearson, the reserve down tackle. 21 stops a season ago as he appeared in all 11 games and As they take a look at his right leg, an injury timeout. Mentioned Georgia Tech under the Paul Johnson era, 4-1 in season openers, lost the overtime game to Virginia Tech last year. This Yellow Jacket team losing 2 overtime contests in the ACC. En route to the Coastal Division crown, both Miami and North Carolina sharing their identical 5-3 record. We'll take a break as they attend to the injured Phoenix. Back with more from Atlanta right after this. Training staff continues to work on Michael Pearson, and this has been a painful day for Elon, just not on the scoreboard, but also on their defensive front wall. Tony Thompson left the game earlier, the starting nose guard. We have not seen him, and now they lose the reserve Pearson. So they continue to get thinner and thinner up front defensively as we're back to action on the pitch. Left side, good pursuit by the Phoenix defense. Wood chasing down the play along with Gary Coates. That last name might be familiar. Coates is the nephew of former New England Patriot tight end Ben Coates.
Saw his uncle Ben last Saturday, actually. He's the offensive coordinator at St. Augustine's University up in Raleigh after a long career. Has been coaching a couple of places at Livingstone College, was up at Central State. And saw him last Saturday, and he said he is really excited about his nephew. Too bad he can't watch him play. He's also got a sister that plays down at the University of South Carolina, so that Coates family name's still being carried on.
Look at the fake pitch and the reverse option by Badley. There's some of the athleticism he's able to unleash for the first time. Lee inside the 15-yard line.
Watch this. Here's your play. You want to see what the option looks like. Reverse pass out there. Makes a little fake. Whoops, what I got. And then Badley very gingerly gets inside, goes down. But again, the athleticism, the little fake there. I'm telling you, Vadley led the Hillside Hornets to prominence in Durham, North Carolina, was a phenom coming out. Everybody was after him. Goes to Georgia Tech and has had a nice, learned the offense. Came back to the Raleigh-Durham area last year, put up over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns in total offense in that great win over North Carolina.
Gary Coates.
Well, Gary Coates would make his uncle proud on that last hit as he pounded, blasted Broderick Snoddy at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Gary Coates, 6'2", 210-pound junior, had 7 tackles for loss last year, a sack. Really got a good upside on the defensive front for Elon.
Second down, Lee with the option, has a seam if he tucks it, and he does, and he makes the most out of it. Picked up and driven back. But forward progress after Silas wrapped him up. Should be inside the 10, setting up a very manageable third down for Georgia Tech.
John Silas.
Forward progress actually all the way to the 7. We asked Paul Johnson to break down his quarterbacks here at Georgia Tech since he's been here. Josh Nesbitt, Tevin Washington last year, now Badley, and he came right out and said he's the most athletic of the trio. 215-pound body. Up the middle, breaking initial contact is Broderick Snoddy, moving the pile. Look at all that humanity in there. Finally driven down at the 2.
We've talked about Snoddy's ability to get to the outside, a speed burner. This time up the middle, we see his strength. He's gotten stronger, he's gotten quicker throughout the offseason. Stopped inside the 3.
This drive by Georgia Tech has eaten up over 5 minutes off the game clock. Every single ounce has been on the ground. First and goal for the Yellow Jackets. Lee will try to duck it in himself. Stretches the football across. Touchdown. Badley into the end zone. And Georgia Tech goes 75 yards on the ground. 48-0.
Offensive line does a nice job to double team inside. Lee finds that hole between the A gap and just bam, gets in, goes in standing up.
Number 87,
very efficient first day as a starter of the Georgia Tech offense.
Bucker is a perfect 7 for 7 on the point afters. Georgia Tech, their longest drive of the afternoon. All Yellow Jackets here on the opening weekend in Atlanta. Georgia Tech out in front of Elon and redshirt sophomore Vad Lee, following in the footsteps of some very good quarterbacks to come through this program. Tevin Washington most recently, Josh Nesbitt, and you see Lee's numbers on his first start as a Yellow Jacket, although this young man last year was second on the team in total offense. Paul Johnson did a nice job of giving him some repetitions, relieving Washington at times, keeping him fresh. And now this is his team and this Yellow Jacket squad all over Elon on opening day. Last time this Georgia Tech offense scored 7 touchdowns in a game, November 10th last year in the Wild One. They ended up with 9 touchdowns in the 68-50 victory over North Carolina.
That was a crazy game. I was in that area. I'd gone to one football game to do. The Georgia Tech Carolina game started before me. I'm back in the hotel watching the game. They're still playing.
Bryn Renner throwing, Tevin Washington and Sims and company running.
Unbelievable. And the thing about they trailed early in that game by 2 touchdowns.
Yes, they did. Quinn floats, throws, and it is caught and then dropped. Knocked away at the last second. Good timing right there by Chris Milton.
He thought that time as Quinn is rolling to his outside that he was really looking for Doug Warwick. This ball goes over his head. Not quite sure the receiver, Kerry Brown, was expecting that ball to come. Brown took a hit.
Brown will leave the lineup for Elon. Second leading receiver for the Phoenix. 45 catches a year ago, 4 touchdowns. He is on the sideline for the second down play. They go with the slant. How about the hands there? Near a first down. Neely makes the tackle. Justin Osborne, the redshirt freshman, part of First Coast High School in Jacksonville.
Gain of 9. It's 3rd down and 1 from the 34.
Very manageable 3rd down for the Phoenix. They operate from the shotgun. They will keep it on the ground. Tripped up. Forward progress as he rolled ahead should give him enough.
Tracy
Coppage, the ball carrier. And they will move the chains. An Elon first down.
This offensive line of Elon, Clay Johnson, in today, have his plenty of start. We said second team preseason all conference from the Southern Conference. Justin Sowell at the left tackle also has had a lot of starts. But other than that, this is a very young offensive line. Not a lot of starts for them. I think they've done, considering that they've been playing uphill since day one, since play one, they've done a nice job in protecting Quinn.
Quick throw out on the hitch, making the catch is Rory. Shoved out of bounds by Jamia Thomas. You heard Steffi interview Jason Swepson as the teams came out of the locker room, and up front, left guard Thomas McGuire, first-year starter, played in only 5 games. The right guard is Dennis Wagner. He started only 3 games last year. And then at right tackle, you have youth with Gordon Acha making his first career start, and he has to try to block Jeremiah Tauchu for Georgia Tech. So, young line that will only get better. Second down give, Neely, who's been a busy man, gets another tackle along with Tauchu.
But we haven't talked about Tauchu very much. I mean, he's a guy that's been highly decorated. You're looking for him to be one of the leaders on the defense and the national possible player. But we haven't called his name very often. So that lets me know that the offensive line has done a relatively solid job for this Elon football team. When you're behind early and teams know that you're going to pass, that gives the offensive linemen and linebackers a chance to just pin your ears back and go after him. And again, Quinn's done a nice job in getting rid of the football. And I think, as you said, this line's going to get better as the season progresses.
From the 46, Quinn rolls left, throws, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Chris Milton. Milton down the sideline, cuts back to the middle. He's going to go. And the Yellow Jackets, for the second time, return an interception for a touchdown.
Milton with the touchdown interception.
When we take a look at this, you're going to see Quinn made a very useful error. Not only do you throw in the coverage, but he throws away from his body. His body's going to the sideline, his arm is going downfield. That's just a very easy interception by Milton. Take a look at this. Out of the shotgun, there's your fake. Now watch him roll. See, his shoulders aren't square. He throws off the wrong foot. Just an easy pick six for number 6. And just in case you're thinking about this, in the pre-World War II days, 70 points is the most that Georgia Tech's put on the board. Just in case it crossed your mind.
Georgia Tech and this defense. This time it's Chris Milton, 52 yards, rambling wreck in a rout. Sometimes this sport can be a very humbling one, and you see Jason Swepson, the Elon head coach, just going down, sitting with his first-year starter Mike Quinn after throwing his 3rd interception of this football game. And I like the composure there by Swepson, just kind of leisurely sitting down with the young man and just trying to keep him composed in a very difficult and frustrating situation.
There are gonna be days like this, okay? You don't want many of them, but they're gonna be. So now you say, listen, you're our guy, and we're gonna fight with you and be ready and be better next week when you play West Virginia Wesleyan.
You see a little bit of history here for Georgia Tech. Last time they've returned 2 interceptions for a touchdown, September 9th, 2006, a win against Samford.
And they put up 69 points against the Bulldogs, beat them 69-14. So, hey.
Let's see how Quinn responds, and I like the call as they go back to the ground with Tracy Coppage.
Number 22, Tracy Coppage on the carry.
Has anybody separated themselves from that running back trio in your eyes for this Elon with Bostic, Coppage, and Bennett?
Tyler McCordis.
No, not right now, no, because
Gain of 7 yards.
they're all playing uphill. What I like about him is that they're competing. Coppage had the early fumble. That kind of set him back a little bit. But I like what Bostic has done, and the few times Bennett's had the ball, he's done well.
Swing pass and a good one-on-one tackle is made.
And this might sound crazy, and it won't be the first time anybody's ever said that to me, but I'm actually sort of impressed with Mike Quinn. You throw 3 picks, your first game is against Georgia Tech, and you're able to get up and steal pass. He's thrown for 135 yards, 16-28. Mind you, a lot of those have been short underneath passes, but yet he's still standing in the pocket. He's not panicking. He just made a fundamental mistake. This was something that you do in practice, and they scream at you. Body going way off the wrong foot, and you get it picked. That happens against teams like Georgia Tech.
3rd and short, pressure up the middle. Quinn has his pass deflected away.
And one of the things that we talked about with Coach Swepson and also Brad Sherrod was understanding the speed of the game. The speed of the game is also different for your quarterback. You see bigger lineman coming at you, throws that ball into a window where there's not a lot of room to get the ball. Fortunately, that one wasn't picked off. But you need to keep your head up, Queen. You're going to have better ball games.
Jamal Golden waiting this kick at the 20-yard line. Golden, the only return specialist in the country last year to rank in the top 10 in both punt and kick returns. Petroni with the kick. It's a good one. High spiraling kick. Golden at the 20. Spins away from the initial wave. Can't get rid of the West. Good special teams coverage by the Phoenix. So Georgia Tech will have it inside their 20. 5:45 to go in this 3rd quarter. Yellow Jackets in control. Here are some of the news and notes. Week 1 of the college football season. Ole Miss able to rally and come from behind. They win a shootout against Vanderbilt opening night. How about the whipping that Indiana put on Indiana State Thursday night? And then the FCS shocking the FBS with Townsend, their first ever win, upsetting UConn. We saw the 2-time defending FCS champion Bison of North Dakota State go into Manhattan last night and knock off Kansas State. Southern Utah over South Alabama, so the FCS getting some wins, just not here in Atlanta today.
No, not today, but Townsend is in the CAA. That's the conference Elon's going to, so whew. But those are some huge wins. North Dakota State, as you mentioned, 2-time national champion, doing some great things there. Nice win over Kansas State. If I read correctly this morning, they were down a touchdown, I think, within the final couple of minutes, and had that touchdown drive, which was about 6 or 7 minutes. So that's a big win.
Picked off a Jake Waters pass late to seal it. 4th straight year they've defeated an FBS program. Lee heaves it downfield towards Summer, and he makes the catch. A jump ball, and the 6'1" redshirt freshman Michael Summers goes up after it.
Vad Lee, we've seen his strength in running. Now the ability to get outside. Throws this up. Ball stays in the air a long time, but Summers does a nice job adjusting his route. You can see him in there. Says, I'm open. Nice catch at the end. And Georgia Tech looking for more points. 45 yards on that play, 55 yards on that play.
Vad Lee and the Yellow Jackets back at it. Shotgun, he's going to throw. Swings it underneath, incomplete. He was looking for Lasky out of the backfield.
The one thing you don't want to happen if you're a Georgia Tech fan is that, Vad Lee took a pretty big hit there at the end of that play. You want to make sure you keep him upright. Don't be surprised after this drive to see the young Thomas come in the game. Jordan Jones had a nice lick on him.
Jones, a returning starter for this Elon defense at the end spot. Started 8 games, 38 tackles. One of the team captains. Second down, Lee going to test his arm again. He'll heave it toward the end zone. Man out there, touchdown, Georgia Tech.
Touchdown pass to number 25.
Robert Godhigh.
Robert Godhigh.
And the touchdown carousel continues for the Ramblin' Wreck.
This is nice execution again. Getting outside the pocket. And just he kind of leads him to the corner. Says, I want you to go right there. Godhigh, who caught 4 touchdown passes last season, again showing his versatility. The walk-on player of Georgia Tech comes up with another touchdown. Again, 8 different players for Georgia Tech scoring today, and the hits keep on coming.
Godhigh, in fact, was the top receiver from what they have coming back off last year's team. He caught 15 balls as the A-back. His first catch today is a touchdown. 23-yard strike. Vad Lee with his second touchdown pass on the afternoon, and Georgia Tech continues to pour it on, now 63-0. So much history here at historic Grant Field. Steffi Sorensen with more on that.
Well, guys, as we know, Georgia Tech is celebrating its 100th year anniversary of historic Grant Field, but it's not just a place for football. Among those who have performed here, the Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd, Jimmy Buffett, and it even endured a presidential speech by FDR.
Different people coming through here.
Winston Churchill was here one time. Of course, former President Jimmy Carter. But the thing that I like about that is you look around here and you see all the history, the great history of college football. John Heisman, the Heisman Trophy, and coached here, was the first full-time coach. And you look here and you just get proud. And then look at this. I've been to Franklin Field, not been to Harvard Stadium, been to Yale Bowl, and doing a game at Grant Field, Bobby Dodd Stadium on the 100th anniversary makes you kind of proud. Makes you proud.
First game here, September 27th, 1913, when the Yellow Jackets, before they were known as the Golden Tornado.
The Golden Tornadoes, is that?
Tornadoes. They defeated Fort McPherson 19-0.
I didn't do that game. I did the next week's game.
The following week.
Following week, I missed that. Right. But this is just so much history here. And I think on the 27th, that when they play Virginia Tech, that's when they're going to celebrate the stadium's 100th anniversary. All the former All-Americans that are coming back, and you can see on the field there the decoration, Grant Field, 100 years. But it's just so much history here, and it's just it's a proud moment to be a part of this if you're a historian of the game and you love this kind of stuff. Wow, you can't be in a better setting than this.
Yeah, that game with Virginia Tech is a Thursday night matchup on ESPN, and they have invited all of the living Hall of Famers back, and they've already responded with over half that said they will be here. They have committed to being here, and the defensive coordinator, Mr. Roof, one of those Hall of Famers, and that's going to be a special night to be a Yellow Jacket as they celebrate the 100-year anniversary.
John Lockery,
Bostic on the carry.
Freshman quarterback, getting some time in play.
Tackle made by number 40. Paul Davis.
John Lockery, the redshirt freshman out of Wayne, Pennsylvania.
Second down.
He's considered one of the top quarterbacks coming out of southeastern Pennsylvania. He is the cousin of Atlanta quarterback Matt Ryan. 2nd and 8 from the 27. Lockery's first series of the day, and not a real crisp handoff there. Loss of a couple.
Bostic
back at the 25. Bostic is wiped out. You saw the helmet come flying off.
56, Anthony Williams.
Anthony Williams, so he will leave the lineup. Good hit there by Williams.
Loss of 2 yards. It's 3rd down and 10 from the 25.
Lockery has a lot of football in his family line, his genes. His father, John, played football at Boston College. And Jason Swepson, the Elon coach, a 92 grad of BC. 3rd down here for Lockery. Setting up a screen. Nice safe call. They get it to Tracy Coppage, who makes a couple of defenders miss.
Nice job that time at Lockery. We've seen that coverage before where they put their 3 linebackers in front and they kind of dropped those guys back. It fooled Quinn once earlier for the interceptions. Lockery checks down, throws the screen pass to Coppage, and they get the 1st down. Nice poise for the freshman on his first time in the ball game.
1st and 10, Elon from the 39.
Coppage with his 2nd catch today for Elon. Goes for a 1st down. They will hand the ball off. This time it is Bostic over the left side. Pretty good collision along the
Number 10,
Elon sideline. Paul Davis delivered the blow that time.
Tackle made by number 40, Paul Davis.
This Elon program predicted to finish 8th in the Southern Conference in their final go-around.
From the 42.
Team that went 3-8 a year ago, just 1-7 in the SoCon. Approaching the 2-minute mark of this 3rd quarter. Lockery on the delayed handoff. Up the middle it goes. B.J. Bennett.
B.J. Bennett on the carry.
Bennett, part of the Hammond High School tradition in West Columbia, South Carolina. He was on the tail end of 6 straight state titles won by Hammond High School, the proud program. He was part of the final 3 of that improbable run. 3rd and short for the Phoenix. Andre Davis split to the top of the screen. One-on-one coverage. They're going to keep it on the ground, and a 1st down for Bennett. 1st down for Elon onto the Georgia Tech side of the field.
And you asked a few moments ago, did any one of the running backs for Elon separated themselves? And at the point, no. But if you have a nice drive, if you're able to sustain a drive, get a touchdown, then maybe that person that's leading that drive, Coppage has caught a couple of passes, Bennett running inside the tackles very strong. Maybe that's what you're looking for Coach Swepson and his staff on tape to say, hey, look, maybe we give this guy a few more reps in practice, a few more reps as the ball game goes.
Lockery had that one slip out of his hand, incomplete.
And probably the best thing, he had 4 or 5 Yellow Jackets quickly ready to pounce on young Mr. Coppage.
2nd down and 10.
See some new bodies checking in for Georgia Tech, especially on that defensive line. Francis Cowlin, redshirt freshman out of Lawrenceville, Georgia, one of the down tackles for this 2nd down play. Lockery floats it far side, pass is caught near the 1st down. Ricky Brown with his 2nd catch.
Number 5, Ricky Brown. Tackle made by number 40, Paul Davis. It's 3rd down.
Another 3rd down. Elon 2 for 2 on this drive on 3rd downs. Looking at 3rd and a long yard. Lockery with a dangerous pass, nearly intercepted. His receiver was not turned around, and Georgia Tech almost had pickoff number 4, Damon Smith, in the vicinity.
Damon Smith does a nice job in coverage here. Thought we were getting ready to run into the record books with that 3rd interception return for a touchdown. That's a long pass, almost across the numbers, and you gotta really have a strong arm and get some zip on that ball.
A lot of pressure on Smith and Golden to start this year. Remember, no Isaiah Johnson. He is still recovering from off-season knee surgery. 4th and a long yard. Lockery looking right all the way, throws underneath, 1st down. The Phoenix convert.
Pass complete to Allison.
Allison with the reception.
Tackle made by number 12.
On what should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We'll see if Elon settles just to go into quarter number 4 and try to heal up the wounds a little bit. Phoenix will be content to try to keep the bodies healthy and head to the 4th quarter, because they have taken a beating today from Georgia Tech. The Yellow Jackets, behind touchdowns from 8 different players, head to the 4th quarter on top. Georgia Tech 63, Elon nothing. To the 4th we go from Atlanta. Oh, the sights and the sounds here at historic Grant Field. What a great tradition. They love their football here in Atlanta, especially when they go into the 4th quarter leading by a score of 63-0. Elon and Georgia Tech, Sean Kinney alongside Stan Luter. As Elon has penetrated the Tech side at the 35, this will be their 11th play of the drive, their longest drive of this ball game. Orchestrated by backup quarterback John Lockery. Successful debut, I should say, a successful return to the flats for defensive coordinator Ted Roof. His defense has created 4 turnovers. They have returned 2 for touchdowns today. 3 interceptions, a fumble recovery, the special teams with a block punt. Vad Lee has thrown for 2 touchdowns. David Sims has scored twice. Heroes all over the field for the Yellow Jackets on this opening weekend.
Well, they made the plays. They've been aggressive. You give the first fumble maybe to a little bit of nerves. Coppage gets hit. Jamia gets that recovery, and then off they go. Georgia Tech had short fields the first couple plays, and then you look at just, in some cases, Quinn, under a little pressure, just makes poor passing decisions. And these are correctable errors. You won't see defensive backs that they have coverage and coverage speed as quickly as you will the rest of the season. No. You'll see a few guys that can make some plays at Appalachian, at Georgia Southern, Furman, Citadel, those guys, but not to this extent. And so you're going to learn from this. And they were very much at Elon determined to say, hey, look, what happened to us last year against North Carolina? North Carolina was so big and bruising. And after midway in the first quarter, that game just was totally out of control. They were determined not to let that happen again this year. Got off to a bad start. But I think if you look at the whole thing, take the score out of it, I think you can see some positive things for what Elon's done. And I think that you're going to see a good thing out of Elon this year. They're going to be a better team.
So 1st and 10 from the 35, and the give is to Carl Bostic. All right, so an interesting development here, Stan. You saw the delay. You saw the official talking with both sidelines, and Elon has made the request for a continuous clock here for the final 15 minutes, and Georgia Tech has agreed to that. So an unusual circumstance. You don't see it a lot. You've been around this game more than me.
Hey, wait a minute there. Don't say it like that.
I'm not aging you.
Wait a minute.
Don't take it wrong.
Well, heat, safety precaution. Elon's had several guys to go down with injuries. It is a long season. You know, you're down 63. I don't know if there's a 64-point play in football. There got to be a lot of ejections, a lot of things. So for continuity, for safety, keep the clock moving. I have seen it happen more in high school than I have in college. However, I do remember a couple of games I have seen or heard about in college. So, okay, good decision, good bit of sportsmanship also by Georgia Tech and Coach Johnson.
Lockery had time. This is a coverage sack, and down he goes. He had time to throw it, but Anthony Williams was able to finally break through the armor and get the sack.
And one of the few times today that we've said a sack by Georgia Tech, I think by my count, that's only the first sack of the afternoon. Again, Elon's done a relatively good job of protecting the quarterback as far as him going down. He's just been under pressure. And again, we talk about this is a game of not only today but in the future, and a bit of sportsmanship there with the running clock. I applaud Georgia Tech on agreeing to this decision at this point in time.
I'm sure if you're Paul Johnson, you don't want to risk an injury in this type of situation,
exactly.
and you still have time to give Justin Thomas a serious look and give him a couple of series in this fourth quarter.
Well, a lot of players often go down at this time at the mop-up when you're not playing hard.
Terrific punt by Petroni for the second time today. He will pin Georgia Tech inside their own 5. 12:50 to go. Clock moving here in the fourth quarter. Yellow Jackets. Big day for both the Georgia Tech offense and defense. 63-0. 8 different players have scored. The defense has scored a couple of touchdowns, 2 pick sixes, 4 takeaways, plus a block punt, as the Yellow Jackets will bring out the redshirt freshman Justin Thomas for his second series, and stand now all eyes on Mr. Thomas and what he can do orchestrating this offense.
Manage this football game, this final 12-20. No injuries, no turnovers. Get in, get out, get gone.
From the 4-yard line, Thomas will keep it, runs into his own blocker, and smack dab into the back of Chase Roberts, the right tackle.
Thomas on the carry.
Now, how about the play of the Georgia Tech offensive line? Let's not overlook the fact that 4 of the projected 5 starters were on the field together.
Defense number 23, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Akeem Langham with the personal foul. 4 of the first 5 that were projected starters did not hit the field together until this past Monday. Jay Finch, the center, has been banged up, nursing a sore shoulder, and they're still without the services of Morgan Bailey, who's projected to be the starter at right tackle. They're hoping to get him back for Duke. So this offensive line, lots of experience, and they came together quickly today. 15-yard face mask, pushes it out to the 20, and now Snoddy gets to the outside, steps out of bounds at the 38.
Number 22, Roderick.
This is also a challenge for Elon, in so much as that you had the face mask penalty there. You got to remain disciplined. Play to the whistle, play smart, and if Georgia Tech takes this and scores, then make them earn it. And again, everybody's still being evaluated. You'll take some positives away from this afternoon, but don't be sloppy now in your play.
Saw that graphic a few moments ago. Georgia Tech with last year's trip to the Sun Bowl and a win against USC. 16 straight bowl games. That's 4th best in the FBS. Florida State with 31, Florida with 22, and Virginia Tech with 20. And it's been Virginia Tech and Georgia Tech. Those 2 teams have been the only ones to capture the Coastal Division Championship since its inception back in 2005.
ACC Championship game in Charlotte this year. Once again, they've done a great job there the last few seasons. Georgia Tech, Florida State came up, and Georgia Tech came up on the end of the stick. And you asked about the bowl game. Miami and North Carolina not eligible to win the division. Georgia Tech go to the bowl game. Georgia Tech had to get a waiver after the ACC championship or prior to the ACC championship, similar to what UCLA had to do the past season, but made amends. Go in 6-7, come out 7-7, and again, a lot of excitement here. But again, that goes back to that history we were talking about this stadium. That you also have a situation where you've gone to 16 consecutive bowl games, and they think that with a few more wins, make it 17.
Jeremy Gloston left the lineup, the backup safety for Elon. Paul Johnson really hit Atlanta running, though. You look at his first 2 years and what he accomplished with the Yellow Jackets. He went 19-7 those first 2 seasons. Took a team in 2009 to the FedEx Orange Bowl. That year, the ACC championship was vacated, but still success for Johnson. And after a 6 successful year run at Navy, 5 years at Georgia Southern, 2-time 1AA champs in '99 and 2000, 5-time SoCon champ. This man knows the option. He knows fundamental football, and he gets the most out of his athletes. Pitch over the left side. This is Dennis Andrews.
Number 3, Dennis Andrews on the carry.
You know, there are some common myths when you face Georgia Tech and you think of this ground game, this option game. And the thought out there is that given extra time, teams can prepare to slow down the spread option, but that is so false, Stan. Last year, Georgia Tech averaged 43 points per game against Duke, North Carolina, and USC following a bye week. And when you have balance like this, it's tough to key on one guy. They have so many weapons.
Well, they've got great balance. You've got to prepare for so many things and so many different looks. And a lot of people thought that Elon, coming off the fall camp and the fact that they play 3 or 4 teams in the SoCon that run some type of spread option, wishbone, triple option, whatever you want to call it. But I was trying to tell people earlier in the week that Elon, sadly to say, didn't really have a lot of success with those teams last year, giving up an average of about 345 yards per game to those 3 teams. So Georgia Tech has something very unique, not only academically and athletically, but on the field and the way they run their offense. And the machine is rolling, and you just keep on rolling. You got to try to stop them. Most teams haven't had that success.
Thomas on a give up the middle, surging up near the 45-yard line.
Number 34,
Matt Connors, the ball carrier, brought down on the play by Gary Coates again, setting up a 3rd down. It's an interesting start to the year for Georgia Tech, Stan, and the fact that they get Elon today. They take care of business. They have a rare week 2 bye, one of 2 byes this year. It just happened to fall early, and then they jump into 4 straight ACC games, starting with Duke on the 14th.
And they feel like they'll know a lot about themselves by the time we get into October with those 4 games. And you play Duke, a team that's up and coming. They've got a...
Here goes Thomas, and see you later. They're not going to catch the former Alabama State track champion, Justin Thomas. First touchdown as a Yellow Jack.
Well, we've said this time and time again, dive, faith for the dive, keep it or pitch it. He elects to keep it. No one lays a hand on Justin Thomas. Just very good execution. That's what you want to see out of your 2nd and 3rd units. And they've talked about his speed and also his decision-making process. You saw a great example of that time by Justin Thomas.
Strong-legged freshman Harrison Butker sends the point after up, and he sneaks it through.
Justin Thomas, 44 yards, 70 points. I think that's the highest margin ever by Georgia Tech in a long, long time. The Tech, they're rolling.
Justin Thomas has scored his first touchdown as a Yellow Jacket, 44 yards. He becomes the 9th different player to score a touchdown today, and see him congratulating his offensive line, his wide receivers for the downfield blocking. And Thomas will always remember his first scoring drive, and boy, did he make the most of it. 99 yards. Thomas engineered the scoring drive, and he capped it off with the long touchdown run, his world-class speed. So Elon on the kick return from the 10-yard line. This is Andre Davis. Davis twists his way up to the 23.
And before I forget about this, I want to thank Dean Bunkin, the SID here for football at Georgia Tech, and Chris Rash also at Elon for all their help this week, and getting us coordinated with calls and notes and everything else, and the people at Georgia Tech has done an outstanding job this week as we prepare. I told you, so I tell you, the first time they scored 70 points is against Navy, and the 63 points was the old margin of victory. They beat them like, what was it, 70-7. I guess that'd be 77, be 63. Now you're sitting on history.
I never questioned you. I knew you were right on.
So you're sitting on history right now. 70 points could be the wide. Now, you got to remember, though, too, for those of you that read your books in school and know history, they beat, what was it, Century Cumberland College way back in the day, 222-0. But we don't count that because we didn't cover that ball game.
Thank goodness.
Well, yeah. But so we're sitting on some history. And you always like to be a part of history, right?
Yeah.
Right, talk about history.
Talk about history. Elon on second down.
Number 36.
Yeah, and don't forget the running clock.
And the rear running clock, yeah. But thanks to the SIDs here, and had a chance to hang out with a good friend of mine. And he did name me a Bell here. Wes Durham was a long-time play-by-play guy here at Georgia Tech, and he recently moved on to another position. But his brother Taylor Durham has been a long-time public address guy and radio voice for Elon in football. So there's still a Durham in the box for one more weekend. So Taylor's down there doing a great job. And just want to thank them. I got a chance to talk to him the other day and hooked me up with some information, he and David Hibbard.
Third down, they run the draw as they keep it on the ground, up ahead past the 30, up to the 32-yard line.
Number 36.
Setting up a fourth down situation. Thuck Fan, sophomore out of Greensboro, North Carolina, with the carry.
Tackle made by number 51.
So where do you go if you're Elon? Well, you play West Virginia Wesleyan next week at home. And the Elon crowd's got to come out and support them. And it's the first home game of the year, and you love them, and you put this game behind you. And then they've got a tough game right up the road, I-85 against North Carolina A&T. Rod Broadway's club's getting better every day. And the MEAC, Appalachian, Coastal Carolina was in the NCAAs last year. So the schedule doesn't really get much easier, but I think you can take away, even down 70 points with some positives if you're an Elon fan.
The punting of Petroni, with the exception of the block, has been one of those positives today.
Exactly.
4:36 to go here from the flats. Georgia Tech in or out. Georgia Tech enjoying this opening weekend of college football. The Yellow Jackets taking care of business in a big way. 70-0, they lead Elon as continuous clock starts up. And the new quarterback for the Yellow Jackets is Tim Byerly. He becomes the third quarterback that we have seen that lead the starter with a successful debut. And then Justin Thomas showcasing his speed on the last drive, orchestrating a 99-yard drive. And now it's Byerly's turn.
John Silas.
Stan, as you study this Georgia Tech team, one thing that stood out at me was the number of former quarterbacks that have adjusted to different positions.
Right.
St. Days, Corey Dennis. David Sims started his career as a quarterback. Deion Hill. Just go up and down these A and B backs, and so many quarterbacks, whether it was in high school or even their first camp here in Atlanta, making the transition.
Remember we said that one of the things that Coach Johnson does in recruiting guys is that athleticism and athletic ability, being able to be versatile as an A or a B back. So, yeah, you get those guys at quarterbacks, you can do a lot of things. They can run the ball, they can pass the ball, they've got good hands, they can catch it. You look at Georgia Tech's future schedule, the Duke game coming in on the 14th, playing Carolina here, then Virginia Tech, which is that Thursday night game where they'll honor Grant Field for the 100th anniversary. Miami, payback game, BYU. BYU just pummeled them here last year for homecoming, so you go out there and hopefully that can turn out well. And then the new member of the ACC, Syracuse, the first few ball games. So they had felt like if they could get through those first three conference games and then go on the road to Miami on October 5th, when you get ready to play BYU, you're going to know a lot about yourself at Georgia Tech.
And this Yellow Jacket team started so slow last year. They played good football down the stretch, especially in the month of November.
Well, they were very hot. You're right. The second half of the year, started the year 2-4, gave up tons and tons of points, tons and tons of yardage, made some adjustments for the positive, a better football team, and you see some of the results of that now. But it's only one game, right?
One game. Plenty more to go, but certainly a good start, I think, Coach Johnson saw all that he wanted today as far as the execution on both sides of the football.
Byerly on the keeper.
Byerly keeps it over the left side. Byerly is a sophomore, transferred from Middle Tennessee, one of those teams, Middle Tennessee State, that shocked Georgia Tech a year ago.
Certainly did. Beat them here. And that was the beginning of the end of some of the changes that they made. At that point in time, they were about to go 2-4, and things weren't looking good here on the flats. But they made a recovery. The defense became a little simpler, a little more aggressive. Offense picked up, and again, you end up going into the ACC championship and eventually to a bowl game.
Defense able to bottle up USC last year in the bowl game as they knocked off the Trojans 21-7. Second down give over the right side, gets 1 or 2.
Matt Connors on the carry.
Take a look at what Elon has coming up, and the water gets a little bit more smoother next week as they take on West Virginia Wesleyan. And the trip to North Carolina A&T.
And that's going to be that A&T game. Make a note of that, because these two have a long history, only about 20 minutes apart, and that's going to be a big game before they get into SoCon play with Appalachian. Coastal Carolina was a team that went to the NCAAs. They've got to bounce back. Forget today's game. Forget it. Forget it. You don't even look at the tape of the game. Okay? You stop at the varsity, get a hot dog, a couple of burgers, and boom, and then you go, and then you forget it. You get ready for West Virginia Wesleyan. And if you do that, then you've got some September wins coming. I promise you that.
Number 18, Tim Byerly on the carry.
Let's not forget this is a good tune-up for Elon, because they're going to see the option look 3 more times this year with Wofford and the Citadel, and then powerful Georgia Southern on November 16th. So Jason Swepson won't see it executed like Georgia Tech has today, but certainly he's not done seeing the option look this year.
Yeah, but you played the daddy today.
The granddaddy.
You played, yeah. The brothers and the cousins are pretty potent too. As I mentioned, they gave up over 400 yards against those 3 teams last year. And Wofford and Georgia Southern and Citadel. So we'll see. But a good win for Georgia Tech, nonetheless.
2 coaches coming together. Jason Swepson, Paul Johnson. Johnson moves to 4-0 now all-time against Elon. He defeated the Phoenix 3 times when he was the head man at Georgia Southern. 9 different Yellow Jackets scored today. Georgia Tech wipes out Elon 70-0. Back with some final thoughts right after this.
Please rise on safely.